went on to call it a sad reminder that there is nothing guaranteed about our democracy. Joining us, a Republican lawmaker who does not believe in the big lie, Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. Congressman, thanks for being with us. Do you think your Republican colleagues even watch those videos? I mean, or try to stay up to speed on various investigations?
No, I don't think so. I think they purposely avoid it. I mean, I think the vast majority, if not all of them, my colleagues believe that this was a Trump-incited insurrection. But when you're in a tribe and, if you say something truthful that gets you kicked out of the tribe, you keep your head down and you stay in the tribe. I don't think they believe it. But if you watch the videos, you get that tinge of guilt. And it's much easier to just paper over that tinge of guilt, hope that this organically just kind of fixes the glitch, and nobody's willing to step up. It's disappointing, of course. It's sad. And I think what's even more sad, Anderson, is not that, so many people that aren't acknowledging the truth. It's that there are millions of people, base voters, Republican voters, many in my district, that believe the big lie. And it's not really their fault, although everybody's responsible for what you believe and doing research. But all the leaders they trust are sitting here telling them it's a big lie. And everything that they see on CNN or everything they read in the paper is a lie. And it's just a cover-up. That's what I think the biggest tragedy is, not to mention what it's doing to our republic.
We are so polarized now as a nation in terms of the information we're willing to believe or accept or the facts we're willing to see. I mean, if those videos were police on the Capitol being attacked by Muslims or Black Lives Matter protesters, the very people who deny what it actually happened would be arguing the exact opposite thing. They would be outraged. They would be using this, and they would be talking about this every day and wanting to launch investigations. It's just sad that we're in this time when, because of the people call themselves patriots who attacked police, who attacked the Capitol, this is what we're now dealing with.
Well, that's the other thing is, what are they doing to the term patriot? I mean, to be called a patriot used to be a great thing. Now, I feel like it puts you in the league with insurrectionists. And you know darn well that if this was BLM, or if this was actually Antifa, or if this was Muslims that did this, if the equivalent of Ashley Babbitt had been shot, because, by the way, when she breached that door, she put every lawmaker that was present at risk. And frankly, if she hadn't been shot, as sad as it is that she was misled to that point, had she not, you easily could have seen more people breach and more deaths. And I tell you, I guarantee you, Paul Gosar would be the one defending the action of that officer instead of calling that officer, who in my mind is a hero, a murderer. And this is why I think it's so important for us just to have conversation again. And it's going to take, my friends on the left being willing to reach out and not constantly pointing and saying, you didn't do enough then, you did, and restoring that conversation. It's why I started Country First, which is country1st.com, by the way, to just say, learn to talk to each other again, because we're not going to be able to yell our way out of this. And we need to take those that are lying to the American people, and we need to make sure they never win an election again.
What is it like being one of the only people in your party willing to actually speak out about what happened on January 6th, stand up to the big lie publicly? I mean, you alluded previously to the threat your stance may pose to your career. I know you'll say that's not really, what concerns you, that things are more important than that. But, I mean, does it frustrate you at all that, this could get you voted out of Congress?
Look, it makes me sad because I know this is true, and all my colleagues know this is true. It's confusing because I thought so many of the people I know, like Kevin McCarthy, had a red line that they just wouldn't cross, that there would be no payoff worth crossing that line. It feels isolating, but I'm going to tell you, seriously, it actually is very peaceful because I know I can say what's true. I know that even if I'm standing alone with Liz Cheney and a few others like those that voted with me to impeach and some of the senators, I know that history will judge it correctly, and I know that it's a very important thing. There's never been a moment in Congress, Anderson, no matter any vote I've taken, any speech I've given, that has ever, to me, been more cut and dry and clear and more of a demanding desire and need even to stand alone to tell that truth, because I really believe, and I'm not being emotional or dramatic, I believe that the future of this country and the republic rests on telling people the truth. And until we accept that, there is real damage done to not just America, but America's reputation with these Putin-type tactics that are happening.
I want to ask you about Afghanistan. We talked about this the last time you were on. Not only do you serve there in the Air Force, you're also currently serving the Air National Guard as Lieutenant Colonel. I know you've said you disagree with President Biden on his decision to withdraw U.S. forces. The decision obviously has been made. Are you surprised I assume you're not surprised at what's happening there. The Taliban is obviously capturing new territory. We're seeing, Afghan troops giving up in some places. And obviously a lot of Afghan, forces, soldiers, police have been killed fighting the Taliban. But is this just, how bad do you think it's going to get?
I think this is going to be atrocious. I think it's going to be bad. I think you guys are going to be covering terrible scenes out of Afghanistan. The Afghan army has collapsed. And by the way, they were doing 99% of the fighting. When we were there, we were just using that base basically to stiffen their spine and do counterterrorism. I just hope we can get the translators out right now. That's the only sense of maybe light we can have out of this dark moment.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Anytime.
Coming up next, Dr. Anthony Fauci joins us to talk about breaking news on COVID and just how quickly that new Delta variant has spread across the United States and other countries around the world.